Hi, Marcel. I'm the one they called a villain, right? And I just watched this video and I figured that I would give you some tidbits of information, which I'm sure you've already seen by now, that I am the reason that you were removed from the nominee pool at the Cheer Choice Awards and removed from those events, right? You got that video sent to you already? Right. Now let's talk about this one.
If you make a video from your patio or your game room or your driveway or your bathroom or your kitchen about somebody that you've already blocked and you avoid in public by calling security, I just want to let you know sincerely, I hope that you get help.
What about guys that make videos in their garage? What about those guys, right? Because I find that those guys are predatory, right? That's what I find. You don't want to talk about that, though. You don't want to talk about that. And who called security? I, again, am the reason that you were banned from Cheer Choice events. Would you like to see the email from my email? That was me. That had nothing to do with him.
I've never in my adult life had a man obsess over me like you're obsessing over me. I've never had another grown man do that, let alone a dude your size, your hairstyle, and your whole family dynamic. I've never had that happen. So it's weird to me that you would pay more attention to a guy that you're terrified to see in public than you would your own child. Is it that you're busy creating a world on an application on a phone that you can hopefully live safe?
I don't know where you got the impression that Spanish Dad was obsessed with you. I didn't even know who you were until you, my good sir, went to Mac for protection with a half-assed narrative, right? And then I asked, who is this guy? And I got the truth, right? Then Spanish Dad drops a couple of videos with receipts, right? Which you failed to have, right? And then you got in your feelings, right? Now you're certainly in your feelings because you've spent the better part of a fucking year poking him, right? And then when he pokes back, you want to play victim. And I don't know who you think you are talking about his kid. Kids are off limits, Marcel. You don't want us to do that, do you? And I don't think you have any clue what the fuck you're talking about, because that man takes better care of his kids than you do, right?
If you're full of shit and I'm not full of shit, why would you want to consume any of your time in your life dealing with somebody who you thought is full of shit? And I called you. You're right, I did. I called you on Monday when you were flying out. And you got real quiet when I told you I was at the airport flying to San Diego, and it was at 10 o'clock in the morning. I offered to meet up with you. But see, these things you'll never hear because you blocked me. You blocked me. So if you want to do this, call me, because you have my phone number. You've texted me. That's what grown-ups do. And the reason I haven't called you to resolve any of this is because I don't give a fuck about someone who's a liar, who's a cheater, and is really just a hurt little boy out here spitting on everybody else.
I would have blocked you too. I would have blocked you too. You went to Mac with some half-assed bullshit, right? Thinking that Mac was going to attack Spanish Dad, but once he had full context and you were the liar, right? There was nowhere to go with it, right? See, I tend to follow proof, right? I tend to lean where the facts are, right? Because what you're saying right now is straight opinion. That's your opinion. And you're entitled to your opinion. But what you're not entitled to do is get on this app for the better part of a year, poking and talking about his family, calling him the liar, calling him a cheater. He ain't married. You are, though, right? You are. Strange, right? Why are you the only one I hear saying anything negative about him? I'm just wondering. Why are you the only person that has some shit to say? You don't find that weird? You don't think that for the most part, right, that man is appreciated and loved for what he does on this app, which is much more than you do on this app, right? So who do you think you are to judge? I'm just wondering. Because I don't think you have a single idea what that man does on the day-to-day. I don't think you have a single clue. But I could tell you what it's not. Be obsessed with you.
You're too afraid to make your own path, so you got to step in somebody else's shoes and try to grab their coattails when they're moving a little too fast. You see? Because you tried to hit me up to be one of your creators on Lemonade. I'm curious to see how much money you're taking from every sale of every t-shirt from every creator that you have on Lemonade. So kudos to you for charging people to do something for free, but yet standing on a good faith platform. Or do you even stand on a platform?
What I find interesting, you've had these similar type problems on Facebook going back like decades, right? I think the problem's you, baby. I think the problem's you. Also, real quick, are you mad that he has a merch company? And who cares if he asked you? Y'all were friends at one point, right? Until you pulled some shit, right? So I'm failing to see what you're talking about there. However, I can sense the jealousy in your voice. That's what it sounds like to me. Just being honest. Yeah, he makes the merch, ships the merch, takes the orders. You know, people get paid for that time. Is that a new fucking concept for you? Welcome that I edited out your super homophobic remarks, because that's not the kind of person I am.
I don't. I hope this message finds you some way, somehow. And I hope you trolls learn a lesson. Not that I'm too bad or all that. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about you. And all the bullshit that you do. I don't give a fuck.
Is that why you called the police with some bullshit that he was texting you pictures of him with a weapon? Because you don't give a fuck? The big bad wolf called the police over words on the internet. Real bitch move, Mark. Real bitch move. Like, log off. If you're calling the police over words on the internet, log off.
Give a fuck about you. And all the bullshit that you do. I don't give a fuck. And one day, hopefully one day, someone will get your attention enough to make you realize what a fool you look like acting like this on an app that your child or your child's friends probably know you on. Because, you know, your kids are probably like, my dad is TikTok famous.
That child that you're talking about is not old enough to know what his father does on the internet. You just throw that in to be a real piece of shit, right? Kids are off limits, right? Right.
TikTok famous. My grandkid says that. We're not built the fucking same.
I don't think you needed to tell the app that. I think that everybody that has eyes and common sense can see that. Also, the irony of you making those faces while calling someone else juvenile, chef's kiss.
I hope this puts to bed my turn on your clout trout fucking exercise bike, bud. I hope so. And everybody that's connected to it. I hope so. There's a lot more shit you could waste time on than me. Okay? All of you. If you can't stand in front of me and say it, you're weak. You're soft. You're scared. And you're not my fucking league. Okay? I shit harder than you.
I think that you would be the clout trout in this situation, no? Also, you made this video before you went to the cops? Like, is that how... I cannot. Is that what you did? You were like, let me post this video on the internet and make all kinds of weird statements that are untrue and no factual basis to them at all, and then contact the police with more non-factual information. Is that you can't be serious. You can't be serious.
Suicide is real. The emergency suicide prevention hotline number is 988. This video is for educational and informational purposes only.
Now, who would you be if you didn't throw that in there to give people the impression that you're actually a decent human being, right? And like, maybe you don't have decades worth of DV and assault charges, allegedly, on your record. You know, that man you're shaming so grossly on your private page has probably saved my life more times than you can count. I'm probably actually positive that you can't count that high, because, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is probably like the highest that you could go. Also, I'm pretty sure that he wastes way more time on being like my therapist than anything that he wastes on you. See, do you people don't know how this works, do you? Like, he doesn't have to watch you. People are gonna send him shit. People that don't like him, women that you've exploited, right? Yeah, they'll send him shit. And he still sat silently for a year while you poked and you poked and you poked, and then you went to Mac, right? So, like, are you deluded? Do you need mental health help? Honestly, because I'm always mind blown at like people that are not self-aware, right? You praise yourself to be this mental health advocate, but yet here you are making a video. And if I remember correctly, you also shamed somebody else, calling their mental health problem a fake attempt. Yeah, that was you, right? But you're an advocate, right?